Introduction. There are hundreds of trading books out there. Some are genuinely good, some just have nice covers. And then there are a few that only traders who've been burned truly appreciate. The Master Swing Trader by Alan Farley is one of those books. If you're someone who loves spotting short-term setups, but you're tired of gambling with your trades, this book is for you. It doesn't promise to make you rich in a week. It doesn't throw around buzzwords like 7 steps to success. And it's definitely not for people who don't want to think. I came across this book after a brutal losing streak, simply because I kept jumping into the market without any real strategy. I had read books on trading psychology. I had studied risk management, but I was still missing something. Something that could help me read the market like a roadmap, not just a bunch of green and red candles. Then I found Farley, not in person, but in his pages. For the first time, I saw someone map out the entire structure of market movement, with cycles, signals, and a series of alerts he calls the 7 bells. This isn't a book you read for fun. It's a book you read to wake up. And in this video, I'll share with you what truly makes this book worth every minute of your time. No hype, no fluff, just the truth about how the market moves and how an ordinary retail trader like me, like you, can still find profit in the chaos. Sound a bit skeptical? That's okay. Stick around till the end, and you'll see why this book sits in the top 3 on my desk every single day. The author and context. Before you trust anyone who writes a book about trading, you should probably ask, does this guy actually trade? With Alan Farley, the answer is yes, and he's the real deal. He didn't come from Wall Street. He didn't run a hedge fund. He didn't teach MBA classes. He traded for a living, and what he wrote in this book came from real-world experience, not recycled theory from a textbook. Farley is the founder of hardrightedge.com, one of the earliest trading education websites from back in the early internet days. Long before Twitter threads and trading view charts, he was already teaching thousands of retail traders like us. And many of them, myself included, had the same realization. Wait, swing trading can actually be taught? And done successfully. The book was published in 2001, right after the dot-com bubble burst. Most trend chasers lost their shirts during that crash. But Farley wasn't offering you some flashy new hack to beat the market. What made this book stand out was something simpler and deeper. He didn't teach you to outrun the market. He taught you to understand its cycles. While everyone else was yelling, buy and hold, or day trading is dead, Farley calmly stepped in and said, somewhere between those two extremes lies a smarter way to trade. Fast enough to catch real opportunities, slow enough to stay out of emotional traps. That's swing trading. He might not be as famous as Mark Douglas or Alexander Elder, but if you ask seasoned traders, those who've been through market wars, you'll hear things like, Farley was the first guy who helped me realize the market doesn't move in straight lines. And losing trades don't mean I suck, they just mean I was in the wrong phase. From that insight, Farley built a complete framework, from mindset to structure to signals, that still holds up to this day. The heart of the book. If you're looking for a book that tells you exactly when to buy and when to sell, this one might leave you scratching your head. But if you're trying to understand why the market shifts, from chaos to clarity, from silence to explosion, then Farley might just open your eyes for the first time. Let's break down what makes his system different. First, Farley says the market isn't random. It only feels that way until you learn to spot the rhythm underneath. He introduces what he calls pattern cycles. These are recurring phases the market goes through again and again. It's like how a stock goes from excitement to pullback to consolidation to breakout to distribution, then repeats. Same cycle, same human emotions behind it. I remember when I used to invest in retail stocks. Some seasons were hot, others were dead. But once I understood the cycle, nothing surprised me anymore. In trading, once you see these cycles, you're no longer guessing. You're navigating with GPS. Then come the 7 bells, Farley's signature contribution. It sounds quirky, but these are 7 specific technical signals that repeat over and over again, each one giving you an early warning before the crowd sees it. They're not magical indicators. They're a logical blend of price action, volume, and structure. Not a black box, more like a smart checklist. I remember using bell number 4, a breakout after consolidation, backed by rising volume. I entered a huge trade, held it for 3 days, and walked away with over 5R. Not luck. It was the right phase, the right setup, at the right time. Farley also teaches you something many traders ignore. How the market reacts to news is more important than the news itself. If the headlines are bad, but price doesn't drop anymore, that's a signal. He calls this the inefficiency window, a moment when the market is basically lying to you. That's where swing traders thrive. And here's what I love most. He never tells you to go all in. Never pushes you to take profits too early. Instead, he teaches you to place wider stops, hold longer, and watch the market like a calm observer. Not like someone glued to every tick. When you trade like that, you don't just survive longer, you start to feel the market's rhythm. It's no longer a slot machine. It's a conversation. Above all, Farley reminds us of one truth. Most traders don't lose because they analyze wrong. They lose because they don't know where they are in the cycle. Once you get that, you stop trading based on feelings and start trading with a repeatable edge, comparisons and real-world lessons. If you asked me, is the master swing trader similar to Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas? I'd say no, but they absolutely belong together. Douglas talks about mindset, about why you need to let go of expectations and start thinking in probabilities. But here's the thing. You can finish Douglas's book, feel calm and centered, and still open a chart with no clue when to pull the trigger. That's where Alan Farley steps in. His book fills the gap. You already know you need discipline. But discipline with what? Douglas teaches you how to think. Farley gives you the system to apply that thinking. Now, compare it to One Good Trade by Mike Bellafiore, and you get a whole different picture. Bellafiore comes from the world of prop trading, where traders have access to premium data, instant news, and risk managers watching their backs. Farley? He's one of us, a retail trader. No one's reminding you to cut losses. No one's there to stop you from chasing. That's why Farley doesn't teach you to trade big. He teaches you to trade right. Right cycle, right setup, right timing. So what's the biggest lesson from this book? It's not bell number 3 or bell number 7. It's not some 5R trick in 2 days. It's this. The market always moves in cycles. If you try to break out during consolidation, you'll lose money. But if you wait for the right phase, you can profit, even when the crowd is frozen in fear. You don't need to be smarter than the market. You just need to be more patient and more prepared than most people. I've seen too many traders blow up, not because they didn't understand charts, but because they entered the market like it was their final battle. Instead of seeing it as what it really is, a series of repeatable opportunities. Farley changed how I see things. The market isn't a place to win. It's a place to survive long enough until the cycle swings in your favor. How to read this book? Let me give you a quick heads up. The Master Swing Trader is not an easy read. It's nearly 450 pages. No colorful charts, no memes, no fluff. And if you try to read it straight through like a novel, chances are you'll give up somewhere around chapter 3. But that's only if you read it the wrong way. So here's what I recommend after going through it multiple times myself. First, don't start from the beginning. Start with the 7 bells. This is the most approachable, most actionable part of the book. Think of it as learning 7 real-world signals, specific patterns you can actually trade. They're logical, repeatable, and backed by examples. Then move on to pattern cycles. That's where the big picture mindset kicks in. You'll start to see how the market flows through phases, and which ones are worth trading. It doesn't just help you find good entries, it helps you avoid the dead zones where most traders get chopped up. Finally, circle back to the beginning. Now that you speak Farley's language, the earlier chapters that once felt dense become a complete blueprint for action. And here's one last tip, maybe the most important of all. Don't just read. Open a real chart. Use TradingView, MT4, or whatever platform you like. Take what you read and compare it to what you see. Because Farley didn't write this book to entertain you. He wrote it so you could apply it in the real market, with real charts and real trades. And it's only when you do that, you'll start to realize how powerful every sentence in this book really is. Closing. I used to think trading was all about charts, indicators, and news. But over the years, I've come to realize something else. Trading is about people. about how we react, especially when the market doesn't do what we expect. And The Master Swing Trader isn't a book that teaches you how to win every trade. It's a book that teaches you how to read the market like a language, to understand its rhythm, to wait for it to speak, and only then take your shot. So if you're still stuck with a trading system that feels shaky, if you're tired of books that recycle the same old tricks, MACD, RSI, Bollinger Bands, like they're magic formulas, then I genuinely recommend this one. Not because it's a silver bullet, but because it helps you forge your own. I'm not being paid to say this, but I have a reason to share it. If I had found this book a few years earlier, I might have saved a few accounts. You can grab your copy of The Master Swing Trader through the Amazon link below. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and subscribe to Investory Hub, the channel where we break down trading and investing, one book at a time. In upcoming videos, we'll continue reviewing books that help you build a stronger foundation in both skill and mindset. For now, block out the noise. Open your charts, take a breath, and start thinking like a real swing trader. Thanks for watching till the end. I'll see you in the next video.